Niners win. Niners win. Niners win. That was the game of the year. Wow. Mac Jones on the road, Thursday night football. The spread kept going up and up and up and up. And Mac Jones played his butt off. Alfred Collins gets a huge forced fumble at the 1. Eddie De Niro Pinheiro. We got a lot to get to. Kev's in the house. The crew will be in here as well. Let's freaking go. Unbelievable. What a game. That was a tremendous game. Niners beat the Rams in LA, Thursday night football. What a start to week 5. Niners on the road, 26-23 winners. Woo-wee! That was something. That was something. Welcome to the Krueger Show, brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. And they do run out. What a performance by the 49ers on the road. Gut check. That was awesome. I just watched it and I'm sweating, and I would love to go watch it again. That was one of the best games I've seen in a long time. Mac Jones is making his claim to be the starting quarterback on this football team, which is unbelievable since the Niners just signed Brock Purdy to a $262 million contract or whatever it is. Unfreaking believable. That was spectacular. Oh, my God. I don't even know where to start. We welcome in. Of course, we're also brought to you by Sleeper. Check out Sleeper, proud sponsor of the Krueger Show. I think we might have hit the Sleeper lineup. Did we hit the Sleeper?
I got to check.
Well, we had the anytime touchdown for McCaffrey. We had the Tutu Atwell.
Wow, we did. Wow.
We did hit it?
Yeah.
Read it to us.
I'll pull it up later, but it's McCaffrey over receptions, Mac Jones over passing yards, Tutu Atwell over yards, Nakua over receptions, and Demarcus Robinson over yards. All cash.
Heck with the Niners. Kev and I are on a roll. We're on a roll. We're off to Vegas. Oh, man. And, of course, 49er football season is presented by Sleeper, the fastest-growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop where you get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and, of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. Use promo code Larry. Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. The link is in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. Wow. What a game. I maintained all week that the Niners had a shot. I bet the 49ers on the teaser to the under, which covered barely. It's always great when you win. It's even better when you win and cover. And it's better yet when Mac Jones plays like that. Guys, what did you think? I mean, first of all, Dan Coach Amelia in the house. Kev is here. Do we invite everybody yet, Kev?
Yeah. Links have been sent.
So we've sent our invites out to Frank Red. I think Damon wanted an invite as well, so maybe you want to throw one to him. But yeah, wow, what a win. Give me your guys' thoughts as I catch a breath and a pull of water. Unfreaking believable win. And by the way, Kendrick Bourne officially does not suck.
I like to think I'm a pretty level-headed, cool watcher of football games. I try not to overreact to things. If something crazy happens, I stay pretty calm. I was yelling and screaming on that last stop. That was just a mano a mano, head on head, power versus power stop by the 49ers defense. I mean, crazy game all around. I mean, game of his life from Mac Jones. He's looking like 2016 Matt Ryan. Kendrick Bourne game of his life. Alfred Collins with the punch out on the 1 yard line to save the game of his life after a terrible start to his year. Game of his life, redemption. And Marquis Siegel, who got burned by Tutu Atwell on the last drive, comes up in the last play to stop Kyron Williams. How can you not love that? Just an absolute beautiful game for the 49ers, a gritty win, reminiscent of week week 3 against the Cardinals. Just beautiful all around.
Danny, what did you think?
It was an entertaining game. I'll tell you, even if I wasn't a Niner fan, it was a fun game to watch if you just love football. Back and forth. Just a gutty, gritty Mac Jones. I can't believe the guy was actually looked like he was heaving at the after the last drive on the sideline. He's like looked like he's throwing up air or something. He was just gassed, dehydrated. I don't know, cramping, whatever he was doing, but he's hanging in there. Just unbelievable. We'll get into it as we go along. I don't want to say any negatives right now, but I do have a few things that were irritating me that I'll talk about later, but
we'll get to it for sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this was an amazing game. I mean, first of all, we talked about it. I did a video today with Kev in the city, kind of previewing this thing. And I said, hey man, the Niners have a shot in this thing. Why? Why do they have a shot? They have a shot because last week they were -4 in turnovers. And I said, they got a real shot. If they could be +1, maybe +2. Tonight they were +2. If they could win the time of possession, they won the time of possession. 40+ minutes, the 49ers possessed the ball. To me, the Niners won this game because they played keep away from Stafford in the first half. Stafford only had 3 possessions in the first half. So they really played keep away. And I thought the Niners did a great job. I mean, to me, that's where this game was won. I mean, if you looked at halftime, the Niners had, first of all, Travis Gibson had that great fumble recovery, but the Niners had dominated in the first half, 41 plays to 23, 233 yards to 137, 17 minutes and 55 seconds, almost 18 minutes to 12. The Niners had a 12-play scoring drive. They had a 17-play scoring drive. And if you look at it, the Rams scored on their third possession to make it 14-7. And they had the fumble. Basically, LA had the Bryce Huff sack that forced them to punt on the first possession. Niners go down, score a touchdown. The Rams' second possession, Travis Gibson gets the fumble, and the Niners get the turnover. The Rams' third possession, they scored a touchdown. The Niners stopped them. The Cardi missed field goal in the third quarter gave the Niners some momentum as well. So, it was an incredible all around effort. I mean, on another game where the Niners really couldn't really run the ball. I mean, if you look at the box score, I mean, they just ran into a wall, man. 2.2 a carry, 74 yards on 33 carries. McCaffrey ran for 2.6. Robinson ran for 2.4. So they really couldn't run, but they stayed with the run enough. 33 runs, 49 passes. Both teams, I mean, the Rams had 47 passes and only 16 runs. The Rams did not get their run game going. The Niners, for the most part, shut down Puka Nacua. We talked about what would be shutting down Puka, and I said, if you could keep him to like 7-8 catches, maybe 90 yards and a touchdown, maybe out of the end zone. They had 10 catches for 85 yards and a touchdown for Puka. He didn't dominate. Kendrick Bourne had maybe the game of his life.
Great game there, and
all the
that touchdown, the touchdown, Larry, on Nakua's, was it Nakua that caught the touchdown at the 1 yard line? The little who was it that caught it?
Nakua.
Yeah. Isn't that a legal block screen?
It totally was.
Come on, what is that?
The other receiver was not running a route; he was blocking.
No, he just blocked the corner. He just took him right out of the play. I've never seen people get away with such obvious calls. Yeah, Larry, your camera's off a little bit. Hey, I just want to point out here at 8:52, Tone TP said something to the effect, "You didn't say that last night, Larry, about the rent." Well, if you watch Larry's show today from the city, you saw his exact prediction come true.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much I don't know what I picked last night, but today I basically said take the nine. Well, first of all, I bet the Niners on the teaser.
And you said it was going to be a very close game, and the Niners could win it.
I said a very close game. The Niners could win it, and they won it. I said they had to be plus in the turnover margin. They were. Yep. I said they had to dominate the time of possession. They did. I said Mac Jones couldn't turn it over. He didn't. let's talk about Mac Jones for a second. What a gutty performance from Mac Jones. He had several plays in this game that were just amazing. And him and Bourne definitely have a vibe going from the New England days. That's clear. But man, what can you say about Jones? I mean, he showed grit. He showed guts. He came out on that very first drive of the game and he lit it up. The very first drive of the game, Mac Jones goes 5 for 5 for 77 yards and a touchdown. And he just came out ready to roll. He threw some lasers. He took care of the football. He showed toughness. He stood in. He took hits. Guys, make sense of this. Is this lucky? Is this Mac Jones a perfect fit for this system? Is this the birth of a quarterback controversy? All of this is on the table at this juncture. What do you guys think?
Well, I got a question for you. Do you think, we're seeing Mac Jones, Alabama right now with his processing and just picking apart defenses, his ability to just make quick decisions. And he's doing it with a skeleton receiver crew. He doesn't even have his top receivers. Wait till, I wonder what he would be like if Ayuk was 100%, Pearsall and Juwan Jennings all out there, along with Demarcus Robinson. I mean, this is pretty interesting to watch, but I don't know if there's a controversy in so to speak, but he is playing gutsy and he is sticking in there, and he's doing it on one leg, it looks like, which is
there's no controversy. Yeah, but I would not be rushing back Brock Purdy from a toe injury after watching that. Mac Jones. I mean, I've watched some Mac Jones games. People give him shit for his bad games. That was the best performance I've seen him play since Bama. That was incredible. I mean, he's throwing to absolute nobodies. I mean, he's throwing MVS. I mean, Kendrick Bourne, he had the connection with him in New England, but 140 yards for Kendrick Bourne on prime time. I mean, it was like they were mirroring what Stafford and Nakua were doing on offense. Like that's how good the connection was. Classic photo.
Oh yeah, from Alabama.
Dove Kleiman, Mac Jones in tonight's win, 33 of 49, 342 yards, 2 touchdowns, 100.9 passer rating. He says Brock Purdy's job is at risk. What an athlete. What an athlete.
What this made me think of tonight when I'm watching this game, as much as Kyle is a quarterback guy and makes the average quarterback guys better, I don't think Kyle was the guy that wanted Trey Lance.
No, I don't either. I mean, even though he said that he did, and we're supposed to take it in that
the company line.
He is the main guy in the organization, so he knows he's got to own it no matter what. So he's properly owned it. But I think you're right, Danny. I think you're right. I think he acquiesced to,
his best friend Chris Sims said he wants Mac Jones before the draft. I mean, he's not making that up.
I mean, it's no different than going Christmas tree, shopping with the family. It's like, I picked this tree. I want a Douglas fir. Kev says, no, I want something. I want a noble fir. And then
whatever Mrs.
Krueger comes along and she makes a pick, and then we all pretend that we liked her pick. It's like, it's like, damn right. I like the tree that she likes.
I will say this about Shanahan. There was a number of things that had to go the Niners' way. The Niners there was a reason that they were 2 scored underdogs in this game. The talent disparity was there.
But it was a division game, so for people to be super cocky that the Niners had no shot,
of course,
stupid as hell, because it's a division game. You can throw out the records, even if one team's really good, the other team's really bad, and the 49ers are not really bad. I mean, they lost last week because they turned it over 4 times. Right. They almost won that game, even despite 4 turnovers against a pretty good Jags team that I think is going to look pretty good Sunday against Kansas City. So I don't know. I just think that people overreacted. It's the NFL. It's a this week league, not a last week league. And if you get caught looking too much at last week, you'll make mistakes this week.
Yeah,
Larry, I owe it to you.
I
Oh,
said
go
on
ahead,
Sunday.
Kev.
I said on Sunday, Thursday Night Football, anything can happen. Like that works in the 49ers' favor. And I think that worked today. But I want to give credit to Kyle Shanahan because there were a number of things. Like they were down man. They were unmanned. They were, the skill was on the other side of the ball. The Niners were the underdogs in this one. Shanahan made some gutsy calls on fourth down to keep the momentum going in the first quarter and to keep the ball out of Stafford's hand. Stafford didn't really get a momentum going until later in the second quarter into the third quarter. And that's because the Niners dominated the time of possession in the first quarter. They had it was like a 15 play drive that took over. It was like 8 minutes or not. I got to look at how many minutes it took, but there were some gutsy fourth down, tush push calls by Shanahan that normally would just be punts. And I think that they needed that in this game.
Oh, by the way, I like the juice push.
Yeah.
I think the juice push that can be, I even think could be even better than the tush push because as long as your quarterback doesn't get whiplash from juice, two hands shivering him in the back, you don't want that. But outside of that, I mean, Juice is pretty athletic fullback, and if you're going to snap it to Purdy or Mack and let him push from behind, were you talking about 4th and 1? I'm trying to think which play you're talking about. I thought the 1st and goal from the 6, where on the first touchdown where Mack hits the quick hitter to Tongas. I thought that was a beautiful play call. That was a phenomenal Shanahan play call. So, I mean, there were a number of good Shanahan play calls. The one that you had, Kev, the 4th and 1 quarterback sneak on the second possession, the 4th and 1 Brian Robinson 2-yard run also on that second possession. But I'll tell you what frustrated me if the Niners had lost this game is Alfred Collins punches the ball out on the goal line, and that doesn't end the game.
Yeah,
because you can't run the ball. You can't run the ball, and you can't create any kind of quick pass. I mean, I know you're backed up. I know they were backed up in their end zone, but I mean, if you had gotten one first down, it's ball game.
Yeah,
one first down, and you can't get one first down. I mean, think about that for a second. When you've got Kyle Shanahan, one of the great gurus of his era. You've got Christian McCaffrey, Juszczyk, a quarterback that's playing well, and you can't get one first down to ice the game. If they had lost this game, I mean, Alfred Collins, that was the play of his life.
Yes.
That was one of the great.
Yeah, not only stripped it,
he
recovered it.
Yeah.
He recovered it
out, recovered it. I mean, AC with the big play. I mean, I'm happy for that guy. That was spectacular. That guy probably doesn't even need to be on the plane. He could probably just float all the way back to the bay. I mean, seriously, he's on an all-time high after that play.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an awesome play. If I was Alfred Collins, I'd get every big screen TV in my house, and I would just get that on a loop, and I would just play it for the next month.
Well, the funny thing about
anybody who visits me, there it is. Yeah,
they show Alfred Collins and Mikael Williams dapping each other up on the sideline while the Niners are trying to run the ball, and they're just high-fiving, and I'm thinking in my head, guys, you guys are gonna be in the field in 30 seconds.
Right.
It's 2nd and long, and they've ran the ball twice, or it's 3rd and long, they've ran the ball twice for maybe 5 inches.
Unbelievable game.
Let me bring this
How about Eddie Pinheiro with the field goal, the 59-yarder, and then the overtime 41-yarder that grazed the sidebar?
Oh, yeah, that was amazing.
I mean, what the heck? Jake Moody's that wouldn't have gone in for me. Jake's that would have gone out for me.
Let me ask you guys this. I want to make a couple points here. I thought Shanahan, watching this first half, and I'm thinking, man, this guy's coaching the game of his life based on the circumstances. The play calling was great. You're shorthanded, short week. You got all these injuries. And then they get it for the chance to go up 21-7, I think it would have been. They're at 2nd and 1 at the 1-yard line.
It wasn't Mack in a kind of a bad spot right there?
Well, it was 2nd and 1.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, the chance they couldn't run the ball in on 2nd and 1. And then on 3rd and 2, he goes to a sweep to McCaffrey, who loses 3 yards, and they have to kick the field goal to make it 17-7. I was like, what are you doing with this sweep? they cannot get a frickin' yard when they need a yard. They were was it first and goal at the 1 or second and 1 at the 1?
Let me look.
And there was that call, and then at the end of the game on 3rd and 8, the Rams had one timeout. I'm thinking, I would throw it for a first down because who cares if it's incomplete? It's not going to save the Rams.
Are you talking about the when they punted in the
no?
I'm
talking about when they scored in the first half. They had the ball at the 1 yard line, 2nd and 1 from the 1 yard line, and they had to get a field goal because on 3rd down they were like 3rd and 1.5, 3rd and 2, and they ran a sweep, and it looks like McCaffrey lost 2 to 3 yards on the play.
Right.
And I was like, what are you doing? You obviously can't run it in, so throw the ball. I mean, I knew that was going to come back and make a difference in the game. Had the Niners scored a touchdown there, they were up 14. Instead, it was 17-7 at the half.
Yeah.
It would have been up. And then the Rams come down.
And that, by the way, that was McCaffrey's 18th touch of the first half.
Yeah,
he had 18 touches in the first half alone.
Yeah.
I mean, that is an unbelievable usage. But yeah, no, I mean, what a great win, though. Great win. Great team win. Now the Niners are getting, I mean, look at the difference in the vibe. If they had lost, they're on a 2-game losing streak with both quarterbacks now beat up. Instead, they get the win. You get Kittle, supposedly could be back next week from the hammy. Pearsall, they're saying, could be back next week from the knee. JJ could be back next week from the ribs. Ayuk eventually is coming back. I'll say week 12, somewhere in there. Rappaport reported before the game that Brock did suffer a setback of the turf toe injury last week against Jacksonville, and he's now week to week and may not play for a while. I don't know how you guys feel. I've been tweeting about this. Sit Brock down. Do not even allow him to be involved in this decision. You gave him the call last week. He made the call. He obviously is competitive. We know that. You got to protect him from himself. If you didn't have somebody else, it'd be one thing, but you do have somebody else. So go with that guy and let Brock potentially get healthy. And realistically, I mean, Jones is 3-0. He's playing well, but even beyond that, Purdy's got the kind of an injury that if he played 3 weeks in a row, he'd probably be out for the year. So
Kyle Shanahan just said this in the post game.
What he said?
He said, Kyle, this is per Ian Rappaport. Quote,
what's up, Frank?
He re-aggravated it. He's week to week. Don't know how it will heal.
Okay. Frank, what'd you think? You just popped in the room. What a game. We were talking about, 26-23 49ers. They stand at the end. And by the way, tip our cap to not just Marquise Siegel, but how about Chase Lucas? Lucas threw his head in there and took up the blocker. And then that left Siegel kind of a straight path to the ball carrier, and he popped him, and they held him on 4th down. Unbelievable play, unbelievable ending. Frank, what'd you think of the game?
You know what? Rarely do I get a chance to feel like I'm 12 years old again,
Yeah.
And literally, that's how I felt. I felt like it was like 1986 and the Mets were about to win the World Series, seriously. So this was awesome. And this was the quintessential team win. It literally took all the coaches, all the players doing things right at the right time to quench this victory. I also thought it took some arrogance on McVay's part as well. I don't think he helped his team. I think that, he thought he had this in the bag, and he didn't really feel the commitment that I think Robert Saleh has from this defense. And they pulled through, man. It was an incredible game, and I had fun watching it. And this might be the type of game that can help them ascend to the next level. And as you stated throughout the week, and I think we all said last week, Brock Purdy should not have been starting last week. No. And you ride the hot hand. They already have committed to him for multiple years, so they don't have to appease him. They need to go out and try to win football games. Right.
And, right now they're doing that. And then this was an awesome game. It really was. We got this one that's in here. The same sentiment is in here a bunch. I absolutely ragged and dragged Kendrick Bourne. And wow, I mean, yeah, he shut me up. Oh, what a game. 10 catches for 142 yards for Kendrick Bourne. I mean, if you had that on your bingo card, I mean, whoa, that was amazing. I mean, this was an incredible performance by Bourne. This was an incredible performance by McCaffrey, who had 22 carries and 9 targets. This was an incredible performance by Jake Tongas. How about Jake Tongas? 11 targets. He caught 7 balls for 41 yards and a touchdown. Juszczyk caught 3 balls on 4 targets. Demarcus Robinson caught 3 balls. Everybody got in the mix on this one. I'll say this too. The Niners, much maligned offensive line going up against the Rams. They're going to kill you, defensive line. They gave up 10 hits on the quarterback, but only 1 sack. A half sack for Agent Zero there, Byron Young, and a half sack for Kobe Turner. So only 1 sack, 10 hits on the quarterback. The Niners, by the way, still no rush without Bosa. 1 sack, only 2 hits on Stafford all day. 1 by Collins, 1 by Bryce Huff, who had the only sack of the day. So, the 49ers still have some major issues when it comes to rushing the passer, and they've got a lot of youth in their secondary, but man, what a great game. What a great win. And now you kind of feel like, okay, you can take a breath. You're 4-1. You got a lot of really, really good football players that are going to be coming back. I think this team suddenly comes out of this game with tremendous momentum. They're going to get a chance to catch their breath, lick their wounds, get some treatment, get 3 or 4 key guys back, and it's on. The road goes to Tampa. So I don't know. I mean, this could not have been a bigger win for the 49ers. I think, it's funny. I was listening, there were people like guys who were really optimistic normally. Guys like Lombardi were like, yeah, they're probably going to lose. And I just never felt like they were going to lose or that they were – I really felt they were going to hang. I really didn't feel like they would get their doors blown off. So as that number kept going up, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm taking the Niners in those points. And that proved to be the right side of the play. I did go with the teaser. I took a bunch of points, so I was feeling really good. But then I had that under, and the under was 51. And so it barely came in. But let's hit some supers right here. We got a bunch of supers. And then I definitely want to get your thoughts on do you think Shanahan, do you think Shanahan is going to be criticized more for the mistakes he made in this game, or is he going to be hailed as a genius for the good things that happened? Westside says he's a new member, become a YouTube member. Mm-hmm. We always give a little clap. We got this one from Joey Melona, or Joey Mellons, I should say. Mac Jones is tough as fuck. Larry, I went with your sleeper picks earlier. Take my money. There you go. Oh, look at that. So we made him money, and he's like tipping us out. We're like, I feel like I'm serving drinks at a, I've got the puppies in the window, and somebody put a chip on my thing as I walk by. I'm trying to draw the picture.
I think we've hit every single week. So, I mean,
we've hit every week.
We might have to just quit this and just start doing that.
Seriously, we made the Krueger Show disappeared as a channel because they kicked such ass on Sleeper. They didn't need that stinking channel anymore. The Jedi says we got a quarterback controversy. I love it. Oh man, I mean, I hate to say it, but whether we want to announce it or not, the public will decide. And I think the public's going to go for the quarterback controversy. There's going to be a lot of people that were won over in this game by Mac Jones. Lambo says,
how can you not love it? It was the same thing in the Cardinals game. Like you see him hobbling with a torn jersey, driving down the field. It's like romantic.
Did you see that play that he threw in right before the field goal in overtime? his pants were coming off, and he was walking. He didn't even he knew where he was at. He just looked like he looked like about 70 years old walking off the field. There.
Seriously, he did.
He's a Billy Gilmore.
Yeah, exactly. His pants looked like slacks. They were so loose.
Were pulled down. You could see his undergarments the red undergarments he had underneath. And I'm like, this dude is just thrashed, man.
It looked like baseball player pants or something. It looks like he stole his uniform from Devers. Lambo says $9.99 Mac Montana. Let's freaking go. That's awesome. Jeb in the house says O-line, D-line were fucking atrocious. Few exceptions.
The 49ers have still yet to score a rushing touchdown. Still have not intercepted a pass.
And by the way,
I thought the O-line was pretty good, though. I mean, didn't you think that in the first half they were keeping Mac upright? He had time to make throws.
He did.
Yeah.
Just for a spelling, Jeb, exceptions starts with an E, but that's all right. No big deal.
I highlighted Jake Brundle. I thought he played his ass off.
Really? He needs some support right now. A lot of people want him out. Sell's surprise faces. Got to keep up with the hot hand. Mac Jones all the rest of the way. Wow. There you go. There's your quarterback controversy.
That's pretty crazy.
Rancer 119. F the Lambs. F the refs. Go Niners. I like it. Very simple. Very simplistic. B. Kirsch 20. Larry, you owe KB an apology. What a dub. Bang, bang. Yes, there's no question. Kendrick, if you're out there, I called you out. Said you weren't even NFL quality. Said you should retire. And what did you do? What did you do? You said, what? I'm going to make a fool of Krug. 10 catches for 142. Man. I owe him a big apology. Kendrick, if you're out there, I apologize, man.
It's kind of crazy.
I apologize. Give me another shot, man.
It's crazy looking back on their wins because the Niners have won 3 divisional games now.
Yeah.
In just the craziest endings.
They're
snuck away. They've snuck away with 3 divisional wins, 3-0 in the division, and all of those games could have gone either way.
Yeah.
By the way, how do you think Niner fans are feeling? It's like, hey, Rams, we know how you feel. We had Jake Moody. We know what it feels like to have a kicker who miss because they make that extra point. They're up 21-20.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
That extra point miss was
that blocked by? Was that tipped by Collins?
No.
Who got that? Who got that?
It wasn't tipped.
It was tipped.
It was tipped. Yeah.
I never saw. They never focused on who tipped it.
I want to say
94, 96.
I thought it might have been Collins, but I'm not sure.
96.
No, Elliott. That's right. It was Jordan Elliott.
That was on the extra point though.
Yeah, the one he missed.
Point.
But
on the field goal,
he missed a field goal too.
The field goal was. Oh, yeah. I was talking about the extra point.
I was going to bring this up. I was going to bring this up earlier. In a game where the Niners were down, of course, the Rams really kind of shot themselves in the foot. I don't want to take anything away from the Niners. They played a great game. They made all the plays they needed to do, to win the game. But I wrote it all down. Kyron Williams obviously fumbled from the punch out. Blake Corum with the fumble. Jake Carty with the missed field goal, the missed extra point. Jake Carty with the penalty on the kickoff and overtime to put the Niners on the 40.
Yeah.
And then overall, I just felt like Stafford missed a lot of throws.
No, they had, how many drops did they have? They had to have at least 5 drops.
Yeah, they had a number of drops.
Williams and
they did not play a good game.
Yeah. Devontae. And a lot of these drops were just in the clear. It wasn't like, the Niners defender was right there and it was almost a PBU. We're just talking about drops where guys were looking to run before they had it secured. DeBig says if they lost, I was going to put it on Kyle's play calling at the end with 1 minute left. Yeah, I mean, come on. Dude, if they had lost this game after Alfred Collins had the forced fumble recovery at the 1, that would have been a kick to the gut. Yeah, I'd almost rather get blown out than lose after that.
Too conservative on that third down call. You had to throw to try. I mean, I can think of so many coaches who would have just gone for the first down and went for the kill. That would have been the game. You get the first down. The Rams had 1 timeout left.
What happened on the kick, though? How come the Niners got it at the 1?
After
the Collins forced fumble. So they had that's why they got it at the 1.
Yeah.
They had the forced fumble at the 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's why they're backed up. So they go quarterback sneak to Jones on first down.
Yeah, just
then
to
they
give
go
him some room.
CMC into the line on the second down, and then they go CMC basically just
Off tackle.
just not really try. I mean, they was all just like basic stuff. They weren't going to take any chances. I'll tell you the other guy that I've been ripping this guy, and it's like I got to keep ripping him because it's just terrible. Garendo. How about Garendo? He gets one touch, and he almost fumbles. I mean, he did fumble. It was.
They blew the whistle, but he was lucky. Yeah,
he wasn't down. He was just halted forward progress.
Right.
And that was bad.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have. I don't think he needs to be on the kickoff return team. I mean,
no,
he was like grabbing it, but they still ripped it out of his arm.
Yeah, I mean, he's just. Alejandro says one word to describe the 49ers: perseverance. Oh yeah. Brandon says, granted it was OT. Mac had 49 pass attempts tonight with Purdy's career high of 40 versus career. Yeah, I mean the Niners can't run it, so they have to throw it. Mac had a couple of lasers though that were just spectacular. Will Freeze says this team is the opposite of last year. They played like warriors, took out the Lambs with our backups. Who's going to say the season is over now? Yeah, thank you, Will.
No, Mac Jones honestly shocked me with a few throws. He had some laser. There was a play where it was
late.
Third down. He was running right. It wasn't even a deep throw. He was running right, and he hits McCaffrey off his back leg, coming across the field to get the first down. I'm like, geez, this guy has arm strength. Like, I didn't know he had it in him.
Yeah, no, Mac had a couple of throws that were really, really good, where you're sitting there going, wow. On the 8th possession, fourth quarter, 3rd and 1, he threw a slant to Bourne, and it was just a tight window throw. And then on that same drive, 3rd and 5, this is the one that I was thinking of, 3rd and 5 from the 39-yard line or 34-yard line, 3rd and 5 play on their 8th possession. This is in the fourth quarter. And he hits CMC with a 16-yard pass, which was just an absolute laser. He just put it right on him. Jones threw the ball really, really well, and he threw it with conviction. He didn't throw the ball into a lot of tight windows. So he really took care of the football. I mean, that was a phenomenal performance. I mean, any way you slice it.
This play doesn't even matter, but I was just laughing. I'm like, I love this guy. It was when Mac Jones threw the ball, it was tipped in the air. He jumps in the air like he's playing volleyball and spikes it down. I'm like, what's got into this guy? This guy's like turning into Superman. Like,
oh, I know. How about Kirk Herbstreit, who's got all the college anecdotes saying, yeah, at Alabama they called him Johnny Mac because he had a temper, and I guess he played tennis in high school. So I got to ask him next week, or next time we talk to Mac, I'm going to have to ask him about the Johnny Mac. Hey, do you like the Johnny Mac nickname? He probably hates it. Okay, for Patrick Wayne collects, says, if you said the 49ers can't win without their star players, I don't want to hear you say foot or ball for the rest of the year. That is good. That is good. Moon Man, Larry, eat your crow. I don't know why I'm eating crow other than I said Kendrick Bourne was totally done. Other than that, I'm the guy who said in the pregame the Niners got a shot, and I bet the Niners. So I don't know what crow I'm eating other than that. And I also said they should have gone with Mac Jones. Even last week, they should have gone with Mac Jones. And I said I wouldn't go with Brock Purdy because I thought his throws were high in the parts of practice that I saw, and I thought it would translate to the game. And sure enough, it kind of did. Adon Rodriguez, will you admit Collins was worth the pick? Yeah, I mean, Collins is a big, talented player for sure. He's getting better, and that was the kind of play that was just an awesome play. I really like Collins. I like talking to Collins. I like his potential. I'll admit it. He was worth that second-round pick. All right.
Well, Scott. I mean, if you have any weight in PFF grades, Collins was like the 35th out of 37th ranked rookie defensive lineman. So before that play,
at least he was worth the second-round pick tonight.
But that play redeems it all. I mean, he saved the game.
God.
When
I talk to this guy in the locker room, he's a sponge. He's a young guy who wants to get better. He understands he needs to get better. He's working at it. He's got a good attitude. I really enjoy talking to him. It's like you can tell. It's like he knows he's been given a great opportunity. He's on a great line with some tremendous coaches and really good veteran players around him that he can learn from, and he's got the right attitude. He's getting better really fast before our eyes here. Scotty D says, time to recognize grit, win, lose, or draw. This team is gritty as hell. Faithful requires faith. I like that. Scotty, I may use that tomorrow. Faithful requires faith. Anthony Catania's in the house, and he says, let's effing go. Felt like a playoff game. This win was a huge turning point. Are they officially contenders? Your thoughts. And by the way, Anthony is one of our sponsors as well. Check out Sharp Corner, sports cards and collectibles. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, along the Monterey Peninsula. Anthony's at 831-521-5264, and he's a great follow on Instagram at Sharp Corners 831 on the gram. He sent me a note before the game saying, do the Niners, everybody's saying the Niners have no shot. Do they have a shot? I said, absolutely. They have a shot. And they did. Yeah. I mean, are they contenders? I mean, I think the 49ers, I have 16 contenders in the NFL. 4 weeks in, I think half the league are contenders. I got 8 in each conference, and I got the Niners as one of the 8 contenders in the NFC. No doubt.
Oh, they're first place they're 3-0 in the division, 4-1. So even if Seattle wins Sunday against Tampa, and how about that? Seattle takes on Tampa on Sunday in Seattle, then Tampa has to go all the way back home. The Niners actually have a little bit of a rest advantage going into that game.
Yeah, which will be nice. Niners have beaten Seattle in Seattle. That looks like a great win now. And they've got the win over the Rams in L.A. Mesro says, who were you worried about? Who here was worried about the field goals? Not me.
No.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I mean, I kind of feel like Eddie, we're going to print up the Eddie De Niro shirts. I told Kev.
Eddie De Niro Panero? Yeah.
The Eddie De Niro Panero shirts are coming. I'm going to wear it on the show. They're going to go like hotcakes. We're going to sell hundreds of them before Christmas. But
Eddie Pinheiro, I think Eddie Pinheiro is the best in-season move the Niners have made since Christian McCaffrey, hands down. It's the best.
He does. I mean, think about where they were and where they're at.
He put that 59-yarder right through, man. It had distance to go 65.
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
I just like the fact that they have an identity now. I mean, people mention the word grit. They don't have, spectacular players on the back end, but they work their asses off. They make mistakes, they hustle, and they stick together. That last play that they stopped them, that was beautiful. I mean, the sequencing among the guys hitting the line was absolutely perfect. It was the type of play that they would not have made last year. So I like their grit and I like their defense, their ability to translate what Saleh gives them on the sideline to the field is very evident. And they are a fun team to watch. That's what I think about them.
I love watching the defense with Saleh, the way he runs the defense, but would like to see a couple blitzes thrown in there a few times. Rushing 4.
He blitzed on that
first. Jair Brown.
He blitzed on the 2nd and 10 on the first possession the Rams had, and Huff got the sack.
Yeah, we didn't see too many.
He blitzed Pinnock on that play, and they got a 16-yard or 11-yard sack on the Bryce Huff, which forced the punt. So I thought Saleh stole that first possession away from the Rams, but you know what? I got to credit Shanahan, the Niners offensive line, Mac Jones, because the number one thing that the Niners did defensively in this game was what they did offensively, is to keep their defense on the sideline. I mean, they played awesome complimentary ball in this game. They had to, and they did it. James Mockestad says, great win, but if they don't resolve the running game, Mac 2 will be on the IR soon enough. Don't mean to be negative, just an observation. No, that's fair.
I mean, they ran for 2.5 yards per carry. They haven't scored a rushing touchdown. In the red zone, they weren't running the ball either. So
yeah.
It's still. I mean, I think it's fair. I think
they got to look at why they're not running it better and correct it. And if that means they got to make a lineup switch, they got to make a lineup switch.
You want to hear a clip for this? Is Shanahan on Mac Jones in the presser?
Yeah, let's hear it.
1 sec here.
I was real impressed. He played his ass off, man. Was unbelievable in the first half. Got banged up a little bit there in the second half and battled through it and protected the ball, going against that defense and throwing the ball that many times and not having a turnover and protecting like he did. I can't say enough good things about Mac.
Yeah, I mean, Mac Jones just played. I mean, look at that. At the beginning of the game, we're talking about Mac Jones as a backup quarterback. And by the end of the game, you're hearing Kirk Herbstreit talk about this is what he looked like at Alabama. This is what this guy can do. This is what, and this was a national TV game. I mean, this was a huge win for the Niners. It was a huge win for Mac Jones. I mean, this is the kind of win that's going to get the 49ers, if they want it, a second-round pick for Mac Jones in the offseason. Because people are going to remember this game. Everybody watches these national TV games, and people are going to remember whether the Niners go south from here or whatever. They're going to remember, man, Mac Jones looked pretty good in that Shanahan system. Somebody's going to take a shot on him as much as there's this incredible need for quarterbacks.
Mac Jones played himself into another contract tonight.
No doubt.
I think you can't underscore how well he played. Like, he played phenomenally. Amazing. Yeah. Like, it was like I didn't believe what I was watching. Like I said in the beginning, like it looked like 2016 Matt Ryan with Shanahan. Like I was like, what is going on here? This is beautiful. when he got the ball in overtime, backed up inside of his own 5-yard line, I wasn't all that panicked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now they couldn't do anything at the end of regulation, but I just kind of felt like, you know what? He's just gonna, dink and dunk. I mean, he is kind of dink and dunk, right now. He is. He drops back to pass. He plays on time. He doesn't hold the ball. Ball comes out with accuracy, a little zip. He didn't put it in harm's way. I mean, he was spectacular tonight. He really was. Sells surprise face. Lynch go better trade for. Go ahead.
One more thing here. You said the best defense they played was on offense. Do you know what the time of possession differential was?
I said it in the first half.
The Rams possessed.
It was unbelievable.
In the total game, the Rams possessed the ball for 26 minutes and 20 seconds. The Niners possessed the ball for 40 minutes and 4 seconds.
That's awesome. You possess the ball for 40 minutes. You're doing your job. Sell surprise faces. Lynch better go trade for an edge rusher ASAP. Season can be special. Let's dance for the vets. I mean, they definitely, I think, are going to trade for an edge rusher. I don't know if he'll, though I love seeing Trevis Gibson fall on that fumble. He, that was great. But yeah, they need more help. They need some help up front. Philly Chew 215. Mac is making this a quarterback controversy. Where have I heard that before? X-Man, Mac Jones, even as an injured backup quarterback, stood tall. This is unheard of. Won over a lot of people tonight. Shrek, Kyle's ego is too big, can't make good choices. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Criticism.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I think he can make good choices. I think he tends to get a little conservative at times when it calls for some courage to make the play that you don't think he's going to make. Like, I was pretty sure he was going to, on 3rd and 8 from the 2-yard line with less than a minute to go, I was pretty sure he was going to run it up the middle again when you said, even if it's an incomplete pass, they're still getting the ball at the 50-yard line no matter what, whether you got no timeouts or one timeout. And I got a chance to maybe do a slant or some kind of play that gets me 8 yards and the game's over. And he doesn't take those risks. He will on 4th and 1, 4th and 2.
Reed will put the ball in Mahomes' hands.
Yeah.
Sirianni will put the ball in Hurts' hands. Shanahan, maybe he doesn't have that trust yet, but and he does call some gutty 4th down calls, but there's times he gets Jerry Falwell like conservative.
Jerry Falwell.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that. You use that on NorCal Sports Network, but give it a few days so people don't hear you. We got some crossover fans. Jesse Jr. Max gagging in exhaustion at the end. What a gutsy performance! I know.
That was crazy. I can't. Yeah. I mean, to be gagging is.
I think he was cramping and having problems with dehydration and everything because they were.
Yeah, they was eating bananas,
and he's working,
which have a lot of potassium and help you not cramp. Isn't that the
look
deal,
at
right?
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
you.
And they're giving him
Knowledge.
liquids, and then they're working on his. And he's just like, he looked like he was like, I'm just gonna try and sleep and get my energy back while they work on my. They were working on his non-throwing arm too.
Did you
They were
see
like-
his suit, by the way, today?
Yeah, the black and red coming in.
I think it might have
Yeah.
been blue. I mean, Mac, you gotta retire that one, bro. Bro, I mean, that's he says he owns like 150 suits or something like that.
There
but
was
that
there
one-
was a there was a press conference when there's nothing going on when there was about 4 minutes in the press conference of Mac Jones' press conference where they were just asking him about his suits.
I know,
About like
seriously.
12 questions in a row, back to back. Which suit do you like the most? Which one? It's like, oh my god.
How do you feel about socks? I mean, it's like,
No, that was actually one of the questions. Yeah.
Mark Majesty, McCorkle Jones, say his name real, Krug. That boy is serious. Yeah, I mean, he I bet you he gets on the plane and got a standing ovation on that plane. I mean, what a performance.
Oh yeah. So he's a certified dog. I mean, for him to be throwing up, cramping, like he's probably crying, and I mean everything. I mean,
He talks a lot of trash. Did you see that one time where he was talking trash to the D lineman?
yeah. He was
Did
like,
you see that? Yeah, exactly. he's got a little swagger to him.
Yeah.
Which
He
is
was a character at Alabama. Yeah.
he's a character. He's a character. Here we go. Do we have any Mac from the podium? See if you can find some Mac from the podium. Tyler Alvarez says, return of the Mac. There you go. James Makastad says, also, they should have given 13 another game or two. Yeah. You think so? PWS, LOL, Kendrick Bourne is owed an apology, Krug. Kendrick, I'm so sorry. What do I know? I don't know squat. You're the best. Pro Bowl. The
This is
Bourne
tra-
identity.
this is
Humdinger.
trending right now.
Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, there's the pants. Look at that.
I mean, seriously.
Oh man.
I mean,
Yeah,
that he could be like a high school sophomore with wearing his pants like that. PWS, same old story. Same old sorry ass Rams. So long. Remember when Ken Norton said that? They were like, what'd you think of the game, Kenny? And he's like, same old sorry ass Rams. Those are the good old days. Will Freeze is back. He says the Rams and their 3 fans are pissed tonight, guys. Seriously.
I found that odd that there was so many 49er fans there. I mean, they got this
awesome.
beautiful stadium, and the 49ers were, I mean, literally shouting out the Ram fans. I thought that was pretty interesting.
I mean, you don't see that at Dodger Stadium. It's not all Giants fans. You don't see Warriors fans take over the Forum or take over the Staples or whatever.
It's because the Rams bounced around. They don't have like a loyal
Yeah, they don't have the loyalty,
generation.
right?
Yeah. And all their fans left LA or died, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it that way, but it's kind of true. I mean, they were in LA in the 60s. If you were a season ticket holder in the 60s, I mean, you're not around. Hakeem the Dream, that's a generalization, of course. If you were a season ticket holder from the 60s and you're still around, we're glad you're around. Hakeem the Dream, 49er formula to a Super Bowl equals mediocre quarterback making little money and super talent all around the roster. Purdy shouldn't be allowed on the field. Trade him in the offseason. Wow.
I mean, there isn't any. I wouldn't say there's super talent all around the roster at this point.
No, but what he's saying is don't pay Purdy and take that money that you're paying Purdy, go with Mac Jones.
I mean, it's too late now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, we'll find out. Harry Johnson, yes. Mac 10 just took Purdy's job. There we go. Do you see this? Do you see how this is going? Rico Westbrook, Kyle Sala, incredible duo. Fans need to stop saying fire Kyle after every loss. Yeah, seriously. Come on.
I mean, we get that even after wins. So
I know, seriously.
Larry,
Yeah.
Remember how Gary Ratner used to impersonate sports talk show hosts? And I can see him tomorrow again. I got an idea. In Walnut Creek, is there a controversy? Joe in Walnut. I mean, the funny thing is you're going to have countless sports talk show hosts tomorrow on national radio and local radio
Yeah.
building their entire 2-3 hours around whether or not there should be a
Nick Wright will be all over it.
Yeah, Nick Wright just told his wife he can't come to dinner tonight because he has to make notes.
Right.
You know, Colin Cowherd said, "Hey, look, I got to email the guy who writes my scripts for me. I've got to have him write Purdy scripts for me for tomorrow." Unbelievable. Clay Bigham, that's a great name. He says has become a YouTube member. Give it up for Big Ham. Give it up for Big Ham. Or it could be Bigham, but Big Ham.
I kind of like go with Big Ham.
I like Big Ham. Yeah, I like Big Ham.
Big Ham.
And he's back. There he is. Okay, so we have Seabear_toast.
Jesus.
Jake Brendel needs to be arrested for impersonating an NFL offensive lineman.
Wow.
Hey, speaking of
chat, this season has gotten a little extra with the roast. Like people are getting they're getting their licks in, they're getting their comedy routine.
Yeah.
Like
speaking of the line,
I mean, everybody's doing material.
The line. Did you see the bogus call that gave the Rams on Mikael Williams? They said he was hands in the face. He's being held like this. He's being held, and then he's got the guy right here.
Yes,
he doesn't nowhere near his face mask. And they call him unbelievable.
In that part of the game, if you have to see that absolutely clear to make that call, because on the replay, I guess it's not reviewable, right?
No.
Not reviewable.
It's just
judgment call. His hands were down here on the chest plate.
What it was? Exactly. No. What it was Mikael was beating him so bad that his whole body was going backwards, and it looked like he had his hands on his head, but he was just so strong that he was pushing him backwards. That's what happened.
Yeah, that was really the worst call of the day. That was the most biggest blown call.
And you know who the officiating crew was? It was the what's his name? Vinovich again. He's out there, man. Does this guy have something in for the Niners? Seriously,
unreal. I wake up in the middle of the night and flop sweat. I see that guy in my sleep. Heck Dell says defense seals it. Mac was a merchant. Oh, I like that. I'm going to use that. Mac was a merchant. Kendrick Bourne redeems, just like I called it. Really? Heck,
the other thing is, I don't understand the calls. Why are defensive linemen, after Jones releases the ball or any quarterback, unless you're Mahomes or Brady, you're allowed to give him an extra shove so he falls on his back? What is that? I mean,
Verse got a late hit on Mac later.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, who was it?
Jared Verse.
Yeah, Verse got a real big.
He body slammed him.
Yeah, and you can't fall and put your weight on the guy.
Yeah,
and was it on Mac or was it on CMC?
It was Mac.
It was on Mac.
Yeah.
He kind of bounced on Mac.
Yeah.
Well, there was one where I thought Verse pushed him, and there was another one where he fell on him, and then that's when his leg cramped. I think that's the other play.
And that's all Vinovich.
By the way, I thought Mac was done for the year on that play. I mean, that's TV, right? You're like, oh, Mac's done. Adrian Martinez. You're sitting there going, no way, this isn't going to happen on the road with Adrian Martinez. Mac's done. He's wincing. He's grabbing his ankle. Something's torn. He's
grabbing
out.
his leg that has a brace on it.
Exactly.
I wonder if the brace
tons of pain. Next thing you know, you come back from the commercial. And he's sitting on the bench and he's looking. He's looking fine. He's drinking water. He's feeling good. I mean, it was like, it was unbelievable.
But that's Vinovich's call back there. He's allowing that. He's the official, the ref behind the quarterback.
You're right. They're ticky tack on some guys, and then other guys they allow it.
Yeah, if Mahomes, you blow on him, and he's like and they throw the flag.
I mean, there are certain quarterbacks that get protection in the NFL. Nivix Media says bananas out for Mac tonight. Yeah, Mac was getting that potassium so he wouldn't cramp. Sean's Garage says I had faith the entire game. Let's go. Wow, Sean's Garage. Propa says this shows how much football is a coaching sport. Mac, Darnold, Baker, and Geno just needed better coaching to show their skills. I want Mac as QB1. Wow. Guys, it is a great point. It's like there were some people back in that 21 draft who were predicting that the quarterback what quarterback's going to do the best out of this group? The quarterback that goes to Kyle Shanahan. That's what people were saying. And of course, Trey Lance went to Kyle Shanahan, and we all know how it turned out. But it is true. I mean, the bad quarterbacks go at the top of the draft. They go to bad programs, bad coaches. They're not supported. And if they don't immediately hit the ground running, everybody says they suck. I mean, Mac Jones, people were convinced that Mac Jones sucked. The same way they're convinced right now that Trey Lance sucked and that Zach Wilson's garbage and that, every young quarterback who's yet to emerge is a bust, basically. They get a little bit of maybe a year or two, and then they're in that bust category. And it's like you look around and you're like, wait a second. Some of these guys are going to get better. Justin Fields looks a little better with the Jets now. And, there's you gotta give, I mean, it's every year it's like the guys are younger and younger. They play, it seems like less and less. They come into the league and it's like immediately if they don't, Daniel Jones is a bust, and Vinny Testaverde was a bust, and Geno was a bust. And if you really know your football, there was a time when Steve Young was a bust. Right. There was a time when Kenny Stabler was a bust. There was a time when Terry Bradshaw was a bust. There was a time that Roger Staubach was already 26 and hadn't done anything. There was a time when Kurt Warner was already 26 and hadn't done anything. There was a time, and I can go down this list and play this game. Dan Fouts was not good at 27. So we're taking guys who are 20, 21. They have one or two bad years. And suddenly, I mean, Mac went to the Pro Bowl as a rookie, was coached by a defensive coordinator as the OC in year 2, had a new OC in year 3 and terrible receivers, backed up Trevor Lawrence for 1 year, and now is here. And it's like there are people that are like, he's done, he's cooked, he sucks. And it's like, no, he's actually the same guy who can process and he play on time with accuracy. And now he's being supported with a play caller who knows how to utilize him, with an offense that has weapons and is intelligent. Look at the difference.
Here's a common theme also.
What's that?
I said there's another common theme. Those players who eventually become good go to organizations that don't allow mistakes. Ball security is really, really important. Throwing the ball to the right people is really important. Checking out of bad plays is really important. All of this leads to coaching. Even like you look at the kid Cam Ward down in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, he's being honest, but when I look at him, he's not being coached well. He doesn't have all the answers, and he's out there trying to play. I mean, Mac Jones played excellent football at Alabama because he was coached well. And his first year at New England, I believe he played for Belichick, right?
Yeah, and he went to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
He was a Pro Bowl quarterback. I mean, Pro Bowl, whatever that is. But
coaching matters, man.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. And it also kind of makes me think I would rather shop at the recycled quarter. I mean, I'm already a guy. I'm going to give you a little glimpse into Larry Krueger. I'm much more likely to buy tennis shoes at TJ Maxx than I am to buy them at Dick's Sporting Goods. Mm-hmm. And nothing against Dick's. And if they want to sponsor the show, by the way,
walk home with the worst kicks sometimes.
Because I don't want to spend tons of money on kicks. I want to have clean shoes that look okay. And you know what? I'll go to TJ Maxx like once every month, and most of the time I walk out of there going, their shoes suck. But then I'll find shoes that I like. I'll be like, hey, $19.99. I'm out of here. I'm not paying $180 for some Jordans. I'd like to have Jordans. I see guys at the game that has some really sharp Jordans. I'd like to have those. I'd like people to walk up to me. I'd like people to walk up to me and go, Krug, those shoes are tight. But you know what? I'm TJ Maxx, and I'd rather shop for my quarterback in the failed first-round pick aisle than invest in a first-round pick and have it be, whatever. Have it be a crapshoot. Drake May looks pretty good, but Daniels looks pretty good, but Caleb doesn't look pretty good, and Caleb went number 1. It's hard to pick quarterbacks in the draft. I'd rather not draft Justin Fields. I'd rather be the team that goes and signs Justin Fields after, a couple teams gave up on him. So, I mean, I just kind of feel like that's the lane I'd rather shop for quarterbacks in, the recycled lane, because it's just far cheaper.
And I think it's team. It's 100% team. It's 100% what's around the quarterback. But I think a thing that people never really talk about, it's time. Like quarterback is a cerebral position. It's not like running back where it's like, I need the biggest, fastest, strongest guy who's going to hit the hole now. And you coming out of college, this kid coming out of college is going to be the fastest with the least hits on him. Playing quarterback it's like fine wine. You gotta learn it. You gotta get better each year. And that's what these quarterbacks are doing. They're getting better each year. They're changing systems, getting a few more weapons, maybe changing the coach around. And all of a sudden, Daniel Jones goes from being a laughing stock of the NFL to the Colts haven't punted in 3 games. Like,
right. Or how about Trevor Lawrence? I mean,
Baker Mayfield. I mean,
first pick in this Baker Mayfield. That's another one, and it's amazing.
There's a lot of quarterbacks that were, you were talking about, you mentioned Bradshaw, even how about Fran Tarkington? He struggled.
I mean, tons of guys. I mean, literally, it used to be the way it was that quarterbacks weren't really good for 4 or 5 years.
How about Rich Gannon for like 10 or 12 years was not good?
And even Joe Montana was instantaneous, but if you really think about it, he wasn't. I mean, he won it in 81, but he came up in 79. He played games in 80. So it just takes a little bit of time. Steve Young's first playoff game with the Niners, I think he had like 3 picks and 5 turnovers. So what? Was he horrible? It's like, he might have been horrible that day as far as turnovers. It takes time, and you have to be willing to invest that time. John Tyler GG says, no controversy, ? I'm just not sure Brock wins that game. That is a great question. I'll throw it to you guys. What do you think? Does Brock Purdy
today win the game injured? Probably not.
Healthy
the Brock Purdy I've seen this year would not have won today.
Yeah, the injured Brock, probably not.
A healthy Brock.
Healthy Brock.
I want to believe that a healthy Brock can do everything that Mac Jones can do.
I would think so, but Mac really played well today. I mean, he really played well. I mean, he doesn't have that movement ability that Brock has, but it seems like Brock, when he's in there, is running for his life a little bit more, where Mac seemed like he's getting better protection, even though he got hit 10 times.
How about one thing that's interesting? You look at some of the passes. I think Mac only had one that I recall that might have been deflected at the line, but Mac is 6'3", Brock's 6'1". Does he have a little bit better vision, seeing things over the middle than Brock, you think?
He's had fewer passes batted down, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, fewer passes batted down.
Yeah, it's a factor. I mean, it's absolutely a factor. I mean,
is he 6'1", Larry?
Yeah, Brock Purdy's the same height as me. I look at him, we're eye to eye. I'm 6'1.5". He's like 6'1.5". But he's also about 230 pounds. He's pretty athletic. The thing is that his best trait that nobody really talks about that much is his ability to run away and to escape. And he doesn't have that as much this year.
Yeah.
I think until he gets it back,
I'd sit him until he's 100%, because
he may not be 100% this year though, Danny. So will you sit him a whole year?
Well,
I'd sit him until November for sure.
Yeah, let's say it's 90%, where he's able to move around and make plays with his feet. Because if Brock can't make plays with his feet and he's stuck in the pocket area, he's not that valuable to you in terms of, what makes Brock so good is his improvising and being able to run around and break free and then either run it for 10, 12 yards or throw the ball downfield for
I mean, if he doesn't have that escapability, he's not the same guy. Harry Johnson says, every time I see McVay, I think to myself, there's no way this guy doesn't do coke. Oh, great. Great. We'll pass that along.
How are you guys? I thought he was going to say choke, so it made me think of this. What were you guys thinking when Stafford had 2 potential game-winning drives? I was not feeling good about that. They showed the graphic on the screen. He's had 50 game-winning drives. That's like 3 seasons of game-winning drives. It's incredible.
I'm team Solid, man. I mean, I thought they would get a field goal. I wasn't surprised that they tied the game. And obviously, there's no way you can predict a punch out at the 1 yard line. So, I mean, the Rams are a really, really good team. But what I like about the 49ers this year is their ability to show up big at the most opportune moments, when last year they failed all of those tests. And I think that the heart of that is the defensive coordinator.
How many
it's so funny. It's so funny too in this game because there were so many sways of emotion. I'm looking at the Rams' 8th drive right before Collins forces the fumble, right? They take the ball. The Rams get the ball with 2:52 left on their own 35. Stafford goes to Puka for 11. Stafford throws incomplete. He throws complete to Adams. Big pass play. Now they're already down on the 36-yard line. Then you had a couple penalties that negated the next play. Then on 1st and 10 from the 31, I think it was the 31. It might have been the 35 or 34. Kyron Williams runs all the way into the red, all the way down to the 1. All the way down to the 1. And you're like, they're going to score for sure. They're going to go up 27-23.
He got it to the 1? I don't remember him on that.
Didn't he get it to the 1, or was it the 11? He got to the 11. He got to the 11. And then Kyron runs, and there's the penalty on Williams. Bad call. So then you have 1st and goal from what yard line was that? When
6, about the 6, 7.
It was the 6? Okay, I'm going to put that
so.
in my notes. So it's at the 6-yard line, and then Kyron Williams looks like he's going to run in for the touchdown, and the Niners are going to have, whatever. How much time was left at that point?
A minute 2 is when they recovered the fumble.
Yeah, so they would have scored potentially with no time on the clock or a minute left, and you don't have a field goal because they would be up 27-23. So a field goal wouldn't do anything. So you would have had to go the length of the field, and instead Collins pops that out. I mean, that was to me the huge swing of emotions, because once Williams had the long run down inside the red zone, I was like, oh man.
Now let me ask you this:
they could score and run out the clock, and then boom, he pops that out. I mean, that was. It was an amazing play, but how many coaches do you think would have said, because the Niners only had one timeout, how many coaches in the NFL might have said, let them score, and so we at least have a shot to get the ball back? I think that's a smarter play. I thought they were going to let them score. Yeah, I thought they were too. Andre says, why does Kyle open up the playbook with Mac and not with Brock? Good win, but this run game is bad. 2.2 yards a run is a major issue. Need to add an edge rusher. Mikel, offensive tackles. Mikel, zero tackles. He needs an edge next to him. Yeah, he's not going to be. Mikel is a guy who's going to, he's going to beat his guy, but he's going to create room for other guys to make plays. He's not going to have big totals, period. He's not going to have big tackle totals. He's not going to have big sack totals. He's just not. But it doesn't mean he's not effective. Now I'm arguing for the effectiveness of a guy with no stats. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, don't judge Mikel Williams by sacks and tackles only. You really got to watch that film. Loner Incognito, this win is not on Kyle. This win is on Mac Jones. Well, I don't know. It's on both, I would say. Butthead, Larry apologized to Bourne. Bourne, I'm so sorry. Rico Westbrook, Purdy did it in the playoffs. Don't jump ship. Okay, that's fair. Hakeem the Dream, if Alex Smith can get his job stolen from him by Kaepernick and Harbaugh, Mac Jones can take Purdy's job. Wow. Nathan Hyatt, super sticker. Thank you, Nathan. Moises Rosales, the instigators saying we might have quarterback controversy. I don't think so with the cash paid to Brock Purdy.
I was just going to say, I don't think Kaepernick was making or Alex Smith was making $265 million.
But, it's like, in a way that matters, but in a way it doesn't. I mean, it's like if somebody really plays great football, you'll do whatever you need to do to make – I mean, how many teams in history traded away their better quarterback because they had another quarterback that had a contract that made them go with their lesser? The
only one I can think of is
literally better. If Mac Jones is better than Brock Purdy over time, he will get the job.
Well, Seattle did it with Russell Wilson. They had signed Matt Flynn to a huge offseason free agent contract from Green Bay.
Not as huge. Not as big.
Well, not as huge, but at the time it was big. It was one of the bigger contracts.
16 million, yeah.
Yeah, but at the time it was one of the bigger contracts in the NFL for quarterbacks.
Yeah, and they cut him loose.
Yeah, they just said, "Hey, we're going."
They cut him loose. When did they cut him loose? Do you remember when that
he
was?
I think he was there at least 1 year, maybe 2, but he was there
As the backup.
Yeah, he was the backup to Russell Wilson.
Proppa says Mac is earning the job the same way Brock did in 2022. We should ride the hot hand the same way we did with Brock back then. Brock's turnovers are a problem. Harry Johnson says he's become a YouTube member. There you go, Harry. And then he comes back with this one. Larry owes KB some brisket chili from Pig in a Pickle.
I think you should just bring it into the locker room.
Yeah.
Give him a few days.
He'll probably get intercepted by some offensive guard. Niner Mafia. Why in the hell did Kyle run the ball 3 times when we should have thrown the ball to end the game after Collins' strip fumble recovery? They were backed up inside their 5. He was worried about the turnover. But, yeah, I mean, it's like this. If you have an all-world defense that you believe can end the game, then be super conservative inside your 5. But if you're going up against Stafford and you've got a defense that's kind of hurting and is young, I don't know. And you've got Mac Jones playing in rhythm, and you've got McCaffrey and, some really, really, veteran weapons, Juszczyk, guys who can run to a certain spot, turn around and catch the ball. I don't know, guys. I mean, I thought that was very, very conservative. I was hoping that one of those would have at least been a bootleg pass, a safe bootleg pass, right? Then you can just throw it away if it's not there, or you got one defender to manipulate them, get the ball out. I mean, 1 first down is all they needed, and they tried to buck into the line 3 times and think they were going to get it. It's like, that probably was not going to work.
I sent out a tweet. I sent out a tweet. I said, literally, that was the worst series of calls that I've seen in a high leverage regular season game that I can remember. I mean, particularly from Kyle Shanahan, who is an excellent play caller, but sometimes he gets in his own mind. It's like, we all know they cannot run in between the tackles. So why are they passing the ball, giving the ball to McCaffrey to run in between the tackles? His flare out catches is literally a part of their running game at this point. No one's really saying that, but that's their running game. I'm okay with it. That's what Roger Craig did for a decade. They need to find a way to do something different than run up the back of offensive linemen.
Right. I mean, and it's like, it's one thing to stick with it, but then you got to go with what works when the game's on the line. Blood Moon says Mac is doing admirable, but this win is all on the defense. It was in New Orleans, Arizona, and LA. Wide receivers stepped up after letting Brock down. Mac looked shaky in the end. What? Mac looks shaky? I'll take shaky any day then. If that's shaky, man, there's a bunch of teams around football like, I'll take your shaky quarterback. Ryan Caucasian says Mac Jones theme song back then by Mike Jones.
Right.
I didn't know that. We got this one. A lot of supers tonight, by the way. Wait a second. We got this one. Let's get savage. Shout out to special teams for actually making a play. Great extra point block. Who got the block?
I think it was Jordan Elliott.
Jordan
Elliott. Look at that. That was big.
You just read that one.
We got this one from Terrence Sullivan. Theory, block kicks. Kickers are trying for distance and practicing a lower trajectory, and it's resulting in more blocks. Go Niners, hell of a win. I called last week a trap game, LOL. Look at that. Chris Patterson in the house says, hey. So can I borrow a penny? I'll give you $1. Cornelio, 49ers. I don't know if I'm right, but after the 49ers got the fumble, can they take a safety? Yeah, they could have, but then they would have punted, then they would have had to kick the ball back to them with a chance that a field goal beats them.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. You wouldn't want to do that.
Why would they?
You wouldn't do that. You would only do that if there was like 5 seconds left or something like that, and you're gonna run the ball around the end zone and take it out, maybe run the clock out or leave 1 second, punt.
Right, but there's way too much time.
Way too much time, yeah.
The MySpace guy says Mac played his ass out. Literally, go Niners. I've never heard that before. I've heard ass off.
Yeah.
I've heard
Played his ass out.
Jake says Mac gets the ball out on time. Shades of first-year Purdy. Jimmy G, let's fucking go.
Completely blew it.
That is true. The one thing about Mac Jones, he gets the ball out. Blood Moon says, Kev, those wins in the division was because Saleh, not because of Mac Jones. Wow. Alex Rose. Larry, me and Vinny Macaluso love watching you from Eugene. I can rip your entire ad read from heart. You're the GOAT. Hashtag my pigs in a pickle. Alex, you're the man. I got the video. Vinny sent it to me.
Say hello to Mary and say.
That's like your favorite video of all time.
It is awesome. Have you heard it, Frank?
Nah.
I have a fan who goes to Oregon.
Right.
And my son, not Kev, my other son, Ben, his buddy goes to Oregon as well. And so or his buddy Vinny goes to Oregon. His buddy Vinny's friend at Oregon sent him. He's like, hey, I ran into the biggest Krueger show fan of all time. And it's this guy, Alex Rose. And so he sent us this video. Listen to this.
What do you want to say, dude? Yo, all I got to say is that Pig and a Pickle has 2 locations, one in Coromandera, one in Emeryville. They're open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. or until they run out, and they do run out. He recommends the brisket chili because it's so damn good. Say hi to Damon and Mary. They're such great people. Tell them that Larry sent you. Also, Sharp Corner Sports. Anthony Catania, great guy, in Pacific Grove, California. I know the entire ad read, baby. Just code Larry. Fucking sleeper. Go for it.
Listen, they need to put a
Larry, you're lazy. Never heard of that. You don't know that? That's a deep hole. Just do it, though, dude.
Listen, they need to put a visual on that and put that on TikTok, and it will do numbers.
Kev,
that's crazy.
Make that go viral on TikTok, Kev. That was awesome. Alex, thanks for listening up in Eugene, man. Thanks for being a fan. Appreciate you, bro. Carlos says, why can't they dress the rookie Jordan James, CMC, and Robinson? Can't run at all. I know the O-line ain't creating holes, but let someone else get a shot. Jordan James will get a shot eventually, the rookie from Oregon. 49er Lance is a new member. Welcome aboard, 49er Lance. Man, we have this is a record number of supers tonight. We have 128
128
supers. 128 supers tonight. John Kaluwa says, feels like Mac Jones is able to do more than Brock Purdy with an island of misfit toys at wide receiver, but Mac's lack of mobility is going to get him killed. You know, the Niners have to build a big fortress of a line. Whether they go with Mac, go with Brock, whatever, they got to build a better line. Joseph Ernberg, Ben, don't fucking break. Good shit, Krug. Thank you. James Foster says, Kyle trusts Mac, and you can feel the vibe. Chris Patterson says, hey, $1.99. I'm Chris Patterson. Scotty D in the house says, NFL 2025. You need 2 quarterbacks. Ask Cincinnati, Baltimore. Quarterbacks going down like flies. Remember how much Grant dragged Lynch and Kyle on getting Mac. Now who looks genius and who looks clueless? Oh, wow. We got this one from Blood Moon. Mac had some had some lasers, but also 3 picks too. What? 3 picks?
There was no picks tonight.
There were no picks in this game. But thank you, Blood Moon. Carlos says Seagulls needed that hit. He kept getting beat deep. Yeah, Siegel was absolutely getting beat a lot until that last play. Philly Chew 215. Mac looks better than Purdy has since the Super Bowl season. Did Jen says the story will be about Mac Jones versus Purdy, but it should be about how great Shanahan is and how it's football that some fans wanted him gone, or it's foolish. Some fans wanted him gone. Coach of the year by far. I mean, if you want Kyle Shanahan gone, you probably I can't entertain that. I mean, this is kind of where me and Cy battled over Steve Kerr. It's like I can, if you want to tell me that Kerr has tendencies, you want to tell me that Kyle has tendencies, you want to tell me they annoy you, that's fine. But once you get to Kerr's got to go, Kyle's got to go, you know what my first thought is? Bro, you got to go. PDX says quarterback controversy is good for Mac's trade value. Just saying. Jonas Ymir Jonason says, soon it's Sam in Iceland. Glad I didn't go to sleep.
No, soon it's 5 a.m.
Oh, 5. Oh, I thought it said Sam. Soon it's 5 a.m. in Iceland. Glad I didn't go to sleep.
But Sam's probably over there in Iceland watching the Krug show too. So
5 a.m. in Iceland? I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm surprised there, people are not, storming downtown Reykjavik to celebrate the big win. Terrence Sullivan says Grant must be pissed that Lombardi pointed out that Niners were 8.5-point dogs and beat the Rams 23-20 in 2020. Ha ha. I don't get involved in their reindeer games. Carlo, with Gross Matos and Davis hurt, does Valdez play next week? Yeah, Sebastian Valdez probably does play, or maybe they pick somebody up. Probably a lot more Jordan Jefferson next week. We got this from Joseph Ehrenberg. Kyron crying was beautiful. Go Frank. Go Danny.
Feels personal.
What's that?
So that feels personal.
I know why you got to go at Kyron that way. Casey _TB49. Niners cannot have a losing record in the division. That's the complete opposite of last year. Last year they went 1-5 in the division. Loner Incognito. Did you hear Al Michaels say at the end? Say the Niners are going to have that quarterback controversy. It's there.
Because every national
person Jordan Whittingham for like the entire first half. Then he came back in the second half and was like, seems that I've been. It's like, yeah, it seems that maybe you should retire, Al. I love you, Al, but I mean, you got enough cash. I'd sit at home and retire. Go ahead, Kev. What were you gonna say?
I think I'm blanking on what's the color commentator's name? I'm blanking on his name.
Herb Street. Herb Street.
Herb Street called McKivitz like Colby McKivitz or something, or like Connor McKivitz or something like
Connor
that.
McKivitz. Scotty D is in the house. Appreciation to Larry. Content every day, keeps it real and invites all opinions. Kevin also growing into a fine young man. Larry, so proud. Papa, such a proud papa. Thank you. I'm very proud of Kev and very proud of the channel, and we do try to keep it real. We definitely do that. SRT _UNC 415. I think we need to realize that this O-line is a good pass blocking unit. Kyle Shanahan play calling confirms that. #Mac10. Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think that's a really good point. It's a much better pass blocking line. Mm-hmm. Stefan says Mac outplayed Stafford with Bourne, Tongas, D-Rob against Puka, Devontae, and Tutu. It's hard to argue against that. DeBig says Mac doing this with almost pretty much a second unit preseason squad. I mean, yeah, nobody's going to sit there and be like, Mac is a product of his weapons. That's for sure. Humboldt _Ivan says, let's shake things up at the start and start Adrian Martinez next week and spark a real quarterback controversy. We just start anybody. We got a bunch of guys. Could you imagine if the Niners turned their starting quarterback into like a baseball rotation?
Well, let me ask you guys on this quarterback thing. Because Larry, Martinez, is he further ahead than Mordecai, who's on the practice squad?
Mordecai's not on the practice squad.
Or he's not on the practice squad anymore. Somebody told me he was. Who's on the practice squad then?
Nobody.
Nobody.
He was.
Adrian Martinez was.
Okay,
Adrian
just Martinez.
I
saw him.
Adrian Martinez Adrian Martinez today was put on the active roster.
Right.
So,
I saw him from Nebraska when he played there.
Yeah, he's a good athlete.
He's pretty good, but don't you think they need another quarterback at least on the roster? I mean, you're down.
If you said to me Mac was hurt seriously, and Brock can't play next week, would I rather go with Adrian Martinez or would I rather go with Tanner Mordecai? I'd rather go with Tanner Mordecai.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, where is Mordecai? Is he on somebody else's practice squad right now?
Only if it's happened in the last 48 hours.
Oh, okay. They should grab him because, at least as an emergency quarterback. Because what happens if you go with Mac and he goes out and you bring in Martinez? He's out. What are you going to do? Have Kyle Juszczyk run the offense?
Well, I mean, especially since you're 4-1. I mean, what would happen if all of a sudden tomorrow Mac Jones was out for the year and Brock couldn't play for 4 or 5 weeks? What would happen? Would the Niners try to trade for Russell Wilson? Would the Niners try to trade for Kirk Cousins? Would the Niners?
Kirk Cousins would be interesting. Yeah.
Would the Niners trade for somebody, or would they say, hey, Adrian Martinez, you're the next man up? That would be interesting. Hopefully we don't find that out. Lucas Shea, Houston Jr., Davis, and Gross Matos are apparently hurt. Time to unleash the Hulk. Hell of a win. Wish I could have been in the locker room after the game. Incredible win. Savage says, Mac is starting to make you wonder where we would be had we taken him instead of Trey Lance. Oh, no. I mean, that's the first thought, I think, is like, could you imagine if they had taken him at the time? Because he's clearly a fit for this offense. Now, would he have played as well? Maybe not. Maybe he had to go through that learning and failure in New England and the whole route to Jacksonville to appreciate or get where he's at now. But he sure looks good. I mean, there's a lot to like there. And I'll say this, as a guy who's been in the locker room and been around him, I thought this guy was going to be kind of like this smart ass kind of a guy that people didn't like. And he just, I don't know. It's just something about him just seemed like people wouldn't like him. Instead, he's like really, really popular. The players really like him. He's just like one of the guys, and he's got a little swag to him. And there's a lot of guys in the room that really gravitate to him. And he's smart as hell. He's smart as a whip, and he can process what he sees. Right. So he makes good decisions. I mean, I think he's found a home here. It'll be very interesting to see how this whole thing goes. Old Fogey says, no floaters equals no injured wide receivers. If you're still butthurt for Purdy after this game, quit using football as your beard and just come out of the closet already. Jesus. Old Fogey. God. Jesus Christ. Jeez. Old Fogey getting stuff off his chest. Paul Glass. Lenore with a couple emojis. P.S. Trade for Thibodeau with YGM hurt. What did they say, Kev? What's the injury to Yatir Gross-Matos? It looked like a heel or
hamstring. I think it's a hamstring.
Hamstring. Gotcha. Matt 831. Kyle has to be coach of the year with all these injuries so far. I mean, Kyle said it. Hey, we just got to get better as the year goes on. Hope to get to the playoffs. And I can see now kind of what he's looking at. The collector Guam says Mac Shiesty. That suit meant business. if you can find a picture of that suit, Kev, call up a picture of that suit. That suit was
I just saw it.
It might be on ESPN.
Call up a picture
walking into the.
Let's see it. Let's see that suit. That suit just got awful. Yeah, and I'm sitting here wearing a t-shirt basically, but come on.
This is
a bad looking suit.
Oh,
wait, no, that's not it.
On the left.
On the left. There it is.
You got a two-tone suit, black and red.
I thought it was navy and red, but either way, that's a bad look.
Yeah,
that's a bad look.
That's a villain suit. That's like a Batman villain suit, Jack, something like that. Yeah.
Scotty D, did you see the female reporter doing goo-goo eyes at Mac postgame? She was smitten, but then we all are. That is funny. I didn't see that, by the way. 49er Lance, 49ers still haven't given up any first quarter points. Is that true?
Yep.
No points in the first. Big money music. KB isn't washed. Without Sala, we're 0-4. Well, no question. KB shut me up. Devin Gregory, if Mac keeps winning, do you trade Brock over Mac? Wow. How many times is that question going to be asked tomorrow in Coast to Coast? Loner Incognito, you might know, but why haven't the Niners worn their red home jerseys yet? Heat.
Because last year they got burned with the Heat and they wanted to wear white and they couldn't.
Right. So
this
now
year
they're going
said,
white.
Screw it. We're wearing white at home.
Whatever. Scotty D has become a YouTube member. Scotty, welcome aboard. We got this one from Bobby. He says Siegel's getting better each week. Today he had a rough day, but he really did fire at the end. Keyshawn McMillan, Dink and Dunk, Mac versus 50-50 balls, Brock. Preference. Well, it's funny. I think Mac does have the ability to drive the ball down the field. I think in a lot of ways they're very similar. Purdy's got next level movement ability, and I think that gives him an element to his game that makes him more valuable. But he also Brock has not been taking care of the football. So that's a big part of it. You got to take care of the football. But I think they both are kind of distributors who process what they see and get the ball out of their hands. I think Brock, if there would be one thing that I would like to say to him, I would say, hey, Brock, the only thing I've noticed is that in year one as the starter, you got the ball out of your hands faster. Now it seems like you're holding it a little bit longer to try to create more plays or let guys free themselves open. And I would just say, the old saying, which is you can't go broke making a profit. Just get that ball out of your hands. Don't take hits. Be a distributor, and don't try to sell out for the big play quite as much as you do. That would be my thought. Rance says Mac has to look like a warrior where Purdy can save himself from our O-line. Love to see the spirit, but one more drive and Jones goes home in a body bag. Yeah, I mean it was a rough day for sure. Come on Friday.
I know we brought this up already, but I just at this point, because we're an hour and a half in, I just want to share the lineup real quick because I have it up here.
Look at that. So we had McCaffrey with more than 6.5 receptions. And he had how many?
It says on the left 8.
Where is it?
See where it says actual.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we wanted more than 217.5 yards for Mac. He had 342. More than 9.5 receiving yards for Tutu Atwell. That was a gimme. 72. 8.5 receptions for Puka was actually really close. That was really close. We only got that by couple. And then 27.5 receiving yards for Demarcus Robinson. And that barely hit, but he got 39. Look at that. So we made $70.90 off our $5 bet. Thank you, Sleeper. And this entire 49er football season is presented by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and, of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. So use the promo code Larry. Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description, terms and conditions apply. And let me just add this as well. If you see me and Kev doing a Sleeper lineup, just run to your Sleeper and copy it because it's a winner. Because we're 5 for 5, and we're not making that up. And by the way, there's any text that throws in body bag, I have to think of the Karate Kid. Get him a body bag. those Karate Kids from the Valley really talked a lot of trash back then. We got this one. Kyle's game plan really helped Mac tonight. Under center, quick screens, leakers. Why did Kyle do none of that last week to help a mobile Brock Purdy? That's an interesting question. I haven't noticed a lot of differences. To me, it seems like the same kind of game plan. But what do you guys think on that? Did Kyle call a different plan for Mac than he did for Brock?
He's trying to create a controversy.
Yeah, he's welcoming a controversy.
He wants a controversy like none other. Yeah, right.
What do you guys think?
Jacksonville's defensive line played better. They were getting home sooner. There was more heat. But I think the one thing that Mac Jones has consistently done that you alluded to that Brock Purdy used to do early in his career, he gets the ball out of his hands. And Brock Purdy is holding the football longer. And as a result, he's taking more hits and he's putting the ball in harm's way. So he got to go back when he's, quote, healthy and get the ball out of his hands. And those precision passes, I think he'll have more success.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Jose Reyes says, Mac Jones, guts, heart, win. What a move it was to get this guy. Go 49ers. John Kimball, Mac is great, but he is less mobile. He is less mobile than 13. 13 is QB1.
You know what I'm excited to see is that if Pearsall can get healthy and Jennings, and then with Demarcus Robinson, that's 3 guys that can actually, 2 guys that can separate. And then,
don't forget Bourne.
Yeah, Bourne. Yeah. And then Jennings is your possession guy. The other guys actually can get some separation. Demarcus Robinson, that one play tonight where he caught it on the sideline and then tapped his feet in bounds.
And that was a beautiful ball by Mac. I mean,
that was a beautiful ball.
It looked like they've been repping that for the last decade. It was like perfect.
But Danny's point is right. That play by Demarcus Robinson was exactly what Demarcus Robinson does. Yeah. So Demarcus Robinson is the guy that moves while the ball's in the air. So he sets the receiver up or sets the corner up to think it's, coming like, let's say 5 feet to the left. And then he, while the ball's in the air, moves to the open spot and makes that catch. I mean, and he does, it's uncanny. He does that all the time. He's really good.
Go ahead.
Juan Morales says, put some respect on Bourne's name.
I think the wide receiver room by week 12, if Ayuk comes
Could be
back,
good.
could actually be a strength of this team. If you look at Ayuk and Pearsall,
Jordan
and
Watkins.
Jennings, yeah, Watkins. I mean, you could have 5-6 deep. You could be kind of similar to what the Packers have been the last year or two.
They might have too many. Maybe they'll trade somebody at that point. Bobby L says healthy Brock goes 4-1. Love Mac as well. Dude's a baller. I don't think Mac wins in Seattle. Mac reminds me of the sharp Jimmy when he first came to San Francisco. I think he processes way better than Jimmy. I really do. I think he's a better processor than Jimmy. I think he sees the game better. Valen says, Mac Jones tonight, I can do this all day. Did he say that in the postgame? No way. PWS, that Mikel holding call was BS. Thoughts? Oh, yeah. No, we've already hit on that. One of the worst calls of the week so far. Perfect Blackness Senior says, why is Bill Vinovich always calling Niner primetime games? And his staff always seems to be calling close games with BS calls against us. Luck? Doubtful. Yeah, I mean, it's we've all noticed that anytime you see Vinovich these days, you get flashbacks. Tristan Klein, 3rd-1 for the Niners, might as well be 3rd-10. Yeah, they cannot move. They cannot move anybody. They got to find it's amazing. It's like, if they could find a little bit more powerful interior offensive linemen, and I heard Brendel in an interview before the game say, in some schemes, they want their linemen to be 300 plus pounds. And it's like, yeah, well, you know what? I would like it if you were 300 plus pounds, because then maybe we could actually run up the middle on 3rd-1 and 4th-1. I mean, he's 285 and he's getting his lunch handed to him in short yardage.
Yeah.
And if
the 49ers offensive line, without thinking, without Trent counting in that, they remind me of the old 50s and 60s lines compared to what today's lines are on the other teams. They just look so small compared to some of the, you look at the Eagles, you look at the Chiefs, they're just beefy,
Yeah, I would love it if the Niners had a more dominant at the point center. Rodney Alcantara says, hey, maybe Mac Jones can turn out to be like Steve Young and unseat Brock Purdy as the starter, just like Steve Young did when Joe Montana got hurt. I mean, at this point, you never know. Thomas Selmans is already tired of the controversy. Let Brock heal. Yeah, I mean, definitely let Brock heal, but that may add to the controversy, to be honest. Rory says, 1999, here's the super sticker. Jackson says, 49ers need to get picks. Is this something that comes naturally? If so, I've been waiting 12 to 13 games. Yeah, when are the Niners going to get an interception? They don't get interceptions.
11 games now?
Oh, it's just been forever. It was week 11 of last year, I believe. JC says, I love Purdy, but he needs to learn to take the underneath checkdowns more. Mac cut them up with those. Purdy's trying to hit home runs too often. I kind of agree.
That's what Shanahan said at the halftime interview. He's like,
really?
I like what Mac's seeing. Like when he's hitting the guys that are open, and then when he's not seeing anything, he's checking it down. He's like, I like that. That was the halftime.
Humdinger says Jake Moody was spotted wearing an Eddie Pinheiro jersey. Could you imagine? Sunday Living. It's first good game play calling for Kyle since I can remember. Can't say the same for Saleh. No blitzes. He blitzed 5 or 6 times. With a quarterback like Stafford, he'll pick you apart. He blitzed. He did blitz. He sent 5 and 6 man pressures in this game. How many exactly? I couldn't quote you, but there were blitzes. I counted them. I saw them. JFB 648. What a game. Have to work on getting a better pass rush. No question. They're going to have to trade for somebody. Lynch is going to have to go in the marketplace and trade for somebody. And I think he will, because I think they're a good enough team where he needs to do something. And I think he understands that. L. Johnson says Eddie D is greater than Moody and San Francisco wins Super Bowl 58. Or Eddie De Niro. He means Eddie Pinheiro is greater than Moody. God, Eddie is like, did you see Kyle on the sideline? He's like, let's fucking go, Eddie. He's like yelling, Eddie. It was pretty awesome. Claudaddy Arcades, who's a great follow on Instagram @Claw_Arcades _Daddy_Arcades. He's got a brand new location down in Capitola Mall that's open this weekend, and he's got a new one opening in Visalia Mall in 2025. Claudaddy Arcades on the Super says, let's go. What are 3 moves you'd like to see Lynch make leading up to or at free agent at the he means at the trade deadline. That's good. That's a good one. Go ahead. You guys have a yeah, 3 moves you're looking for. I'll give you a couple for sure. I think they ought to trade. I think they ought to sign Mo Kamara off of Tampa Bay's practice squad. He's an edge rusher who can give them speed. You really need more speed off the edge. So that would be one guy that I absolutely would go for. You can't really do anything about your offensive line, but I think I would like to add another tight end. There was a rumor on Bleacher Report about David Njoku from Cleveland.
Wow.
David Njoku's a really athletic tight end. I do think that they could use another big-bodied tight end, and just have the ability to go with 12 personnel and the 2 tight ends a little bit more. Tongas is just getting beat up. Farrell to me has been really, really disappointing. He's not much as a receiver, and he's not grading out very highly in the run game. So I'm not loving what I see out of Farrell. Tongas is getting killed. Kittle's your only tight end. You don't want to overuse him. So I would say if you could get another tight end like a David Njoku, if you could get an edge rusher, that's what I would be looking for. And, I'm a big fan of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who's a safety, who's just a big-time playmaker. And that guy's been really good in a couple different spots. And I know a lot of people hate him, but, you hated Dion too before you had him. So this is a winner. This guy's tough. This guy plays for keeps. And he can play corner. He can play safety, strong, free. He can play nickel. He can play linebacker. Those would be my 3 guys. Njoku, an edge rusher, maybe off the practice squad or in a trade. I like Will McDonald, the 4th from the Jets, and give me Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You guys got somebody that stands out to you?
And as the 49ers get closer to making the playoffs, I know he, quote, retired. I don't know what his contract situation is, but I would knock on the Honey Badger's door. Tyrone Matthew. I would see what he's up to.
He did retire, but yeah. You're right, though. He's a big-time playmaker, Frank. There's no question about that. That is a call worth making. He's a difference-making defensive back, and you got a lot of young DBs. And if you're really going to contend, you may need to add a little experience back there. Kev or Danny, you have a name that you'd like to see the Niners go after? Or?
I've only seen a few names thrown around on Twitter.
Kayvon Thibodeau.
This is kind of I mean, it's thinking. I don't know what's the saying. Like this is
wishful
probably
thinking.
Not going to wishful thinking. There you go. Trey Hendrickson or Kayvon Thibodeau would be great for this team.
They would be great
to help.
I also think you could get really cheap, probably Jalen Phillips from Miami.
I like that name a lot. Former UCLA Bruin, former Hurricane.
It would cost you probably. He'd probably get him for a 6th round pick, 6 maybe even.
A player that I've always seen thrown out there for the last 2 deadlines almost.
Who do you get?
I really like him is Greg Newsome. Now I don't know if the Niners need Greg Newsome, but I love him as a player.
The nickel corner, played at Northwestern. Good player. Sunday Living says, I get end of game making them use their timeouts and earn the score with under a minute, but you have to pass on 3rd down. 1st down equals game over. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I thought, once again, I mean, it's like, I mean, I don't mind a conservative coach from time to time, but the game's on the line. Don't turn into Newt Gingrich. Come on. I mean, seriously. Jason McCabe, defense didn't play 60 minutes. Defense didn't play 60 minutes was why it went to overtime. Really, I think if you said the number one reason the Niners won, I would say it was ball control. They ball controlled. They took the ball away from Stafford. You heard Shanahan say it at halftime. The girl was asking him, hey, Kyle, what do you think? What was the key that you did in the first half? He's like, I thought the key was just that we played keep away, and they didn't have the ball. So I think that was the number one thing. Then I'd have to go to Mac as number 2. Keyshawn McMillan, prediction, Brock Purdy will become a check down merchant because that's all Mac is really doing. And check down merch path never ends well. Ball out on time equals check down. Holland Tracy, great team win, fellas. We can sit and scrutinize every little facet of this game. The bottom line is we played our asses off. Wow, this is an endless amount of supers tonight. Gated, the quarterback controversy never ends with this team. Jacob Izagui, I think that's right. Izagui says, here's $1.99. Thank you, Jacob. Daryl, 49er for life. Smock. Frank, Kyle doesn't have that killer instinct to finish off a game. He showed it in both the Super Bowls against Kansas City. That's why we only have 5 rings instead of 7.
Okay.
Directed towards Frank.
I don't know how to answer that.
SRT says, when Glock Purdy jams, you pull out the Mac 10 to finish the job. Hashtag Mac 10. It's funny. Tim Ryan loves calling him Mac 10. Yeah, it's Mac 10. Matt says, here's a 20 spot. Kyle needs to run a 2-quarterback system that focuses on just being a point guard if they won't invest in an O-line and just stack tight ends, running backs, and slot receivers. I mean, look at it this way. I really think that if you're going to have, I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's Mac Jones or Brock Purdy. If you have Mac Jones, you have a pocket passer who processes what he sees and doesn't move all that well. If you have Brock Purdy, you have an undersized mobile pocket passer, but a guy who can make some secondary movements. Either way, I think you look at the Eagles. Jalen Hurts couldn't do it all by himself, but he doesn't have to. He's got a big physical line. He's got Saquon Barkley. He's got a really good defense, a really good special teams, and he just does his thing. And guess what? His thing was good enough to win the Super Bowl over the best quarterback of his era last year. And Brock Purdy or Mac Jones could also do that if the Niners built up the team around those guys. Build these guys. Build your fortress. Build that big offensive line. Get another runner. Become a dominant run team. And then let's see. I really think you could probably get it done. You don't have to have Josh Allen to win the Super Bowl. But if you're going to have a Brock Purdy, a Jalen Hurts, a Mac Jones, if you're going to have somebody who's a little bit on the lesser side, then you got to surround them with a better line and better surrounding cast.
Speaking of offensive linemen, I was, I guess it was recently, I think it was last week. I think the Raiders are having a little bit of controversy with the center, Jackson Powers Johnson, and that what
is that controversy?
Just like, why is he not playing? And then did he have a concussion? And he's a guard center that he's a tough dude. He could be a center for the Niners.
Oh, I mean, if the Raiders want to move him, I'd absolutely call. Chris Jackson says we really need to relax in this Purdy Mac controversy. Purdy did it in the playoffs and has only played 2 games this year, both hurt. No, I hear you. Ruben Bocanegra, how many are you from the Bay? Hayward 343. 343, is that the area? That's not the area code in Hayward.
No.
Yeah, I'm from the Bay. Danny's from the Bay. Kev's from the Bay, and Frank's from the Bay. We're all from the Bay. Actually, Frank, you're from New York.
I'm from New York, but this is my home.
You've been in the Bay for years,
long time. So yeah,
Danny,
I'm New York at heart, but I love the Bay.
Danny, did you grow up in the Bay, or are you from Connecticut?
No, I grew up in Concord. Clayton Valley High.
Yeah, we just smoked them last week. Jacob Izagui.
I can't help it. They're now a charter school. I have nothing to do with it.
I watched the games all the way through. Return of the Mac. I'm going to the Houston game. Shout out to Larry and Grant. Thank you. Jacob.
I got to play this clip from the presser.
Here we go.
Mac Jones on if Brock Purdy is the starting quarterback for the 49ers.
Before the game, there was a report that Brock could be out a few more games. Do you feel like the starting job, you're the starter now, and that's just the way you have to view it?
I think, they brought me here to play as a backup, and that's my job. And Brock's the starter of this team, and right now he's dealing with something. And for him to go out there last week and play when he probably wasn't at full health, like he cares about this team. So I'm just trying to get some wins for him so it helps us down the line. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Like, I've been in his position. I've been a starter, and you want your backup to go in there and win, because at the end of the season, that could be the hit or miss between a playoff or not. So
it's the right answer, man.
I want to play with that guy.
That is the right answer.
I mean, that
was perfect, wasn't it? I mean, that's pretty much perfect.
I was like, it hurts.
And it was honest. I actually believe it. You know what I'm saying? But that's your question, Larry. You run a lot of reporters. Do you have to ask that question as a reporter? I mean, do you know, because someone not as intelligent as he is could dribble all over themselves over that question. And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, shit. You walk in the locker room, and it's all over the internet. And then tomorrow, you're like, just because you was not comfortable answering a pretty complicated question, do you have to answer that question? I guess you do, huh?
I don't know if you have to ask that question, but I understand why people do. But
Could you imagine if he goes, yeah, look at my play. I think I am the number one guy now. I think I belong as the number one guy. I'm moving the ball better than Brock is right now. And
it'd be awesome. What if he's just
right,
like,
I'm the QB1.
What if he's just like, hey, I'm a bad mofo right now. I'm a bad mofo. Ain't nobody taking this job from me.
Can you imagine if they asked Shedeur Sanders that question?
I feel like
what was Shedeur doing? What remember?
Shedeur, it was pantomiming.
Oh yeah. Come on, Shedeur. That was the low point. Shedeur's got to show more. You can't just be like, you can't just make your mouth move. And I mean, that people are not going to read that the right way. Though I have heard Shedeur's really working hard at his craft. Sprocking says, hey, here's $1.99. Anthony Catania, who's a great sponsor of the Krueger Show as well at Sharp Corners, Sports Cards, and Collectibles. He says, same old sorry-ass Rams. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Loner Incognito. The whole storyline is like the Game of Thrones. Let's sign up HBO for the rights. Awesome. Concept Orbit says, if Purdy was 100% healthy next week, Mac Jones would still be the starter unquestionably, meaning Purdy would be the backup quarterback. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Brock Purdy watches that and is like, man, I need to get in there. But as much as he wants to get in there, I think he needs to give himself a month. Give himself a month. Not because of Mac, because of him. Let the thing quiet down. You're the guy. Just let the thing quiet down. You'll get back in there. X-Man 2 says full circle moment. Rams beat us last year with backups, and we returned the favor with our backups this year. Yeah, it's true. X-Man, we got that one. We got this one from Sprocking. Feliciano, ? Would that be possible or even an upgrade? Feliciano is a veteran guard who said he'd come out of retirement for the Niners. Yeah, if Connor Colby's going to continue to struggle, if Pooney's going to continue to struggle, yes, I would sign John Feliciano and bring him back. I think that's actually a really good idea, especially if you don't believe in your backups. But I don't know how they feel about their backup O-line. Sell's surprised face is Tongas tight end 2. When Kittle comes back, Farrell sucks. I do think Tongas has outplayed Farrell, guys. I really do. I don't know if you guys agree, but PWS's Max pants were down, and he played his ass off, or played the bleep out. LOL. Sammy Mack says, here's a C note. It's a single. PWS, can we get a super count before the live ends? LOL. We're at 149 supers right now. 149. Kevin A says, need a better O-line. McKivitz keeps getting beat. Happy we got the win. Let's go Niners. Love the show, guys.
Show doesn't end until we get to 400 super chats.
PWS is that Mac 10 suit is in his early Halloween costume. LOL. Yeah, that's bad, man. Aaron Belfi. How would you fellas feel about
be more with Coop QB son?
What? How would you feel? Baltimore? You talking about Cooper Rush? Is Cooper Rush the backup?
Cooper Rush is the backup in Baltimore.
How would you feel about Baltimore with Cooper Rush quarterbacking
Sunday?
That was an abbreviation.
Seriously, that's like the only reason I got that is because I used to drink a lot of Lucky Lager.
Yeah, $5 you would have been able to get the whole sentence in for $4.99.
Who does Baltimore get this week?
They are playing
Houston. They're playing Houston at home. Yes, I like Baltimore to win this week at home with their backup quarterback over Houston. I do. Jackson says, damn, I miss Mitch. This punter is no good. 35-yard punts. Mitch Wishnowski. Thomas, who thought we'd get that? Thomas Norton. Pig in a pickle was the key to the 49er win tonight. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate that.
Get the brisket and the brisket chili. They do.
The brisket chili. Tell him that Krug sent you. Wait a second. The last super. We got to super number 149. Scuba. Kyle calls a different game with Mac than he does with Brock. We've heard that a couple times. You guys agree with that?
Terradome in the chat, I saw his comment, said he agrees with that.
We got this guy. Marcus Tech. Larry, name the 10 practice squad players better than Kendrick Bourne. I'll wait. I'm going to have to answer. I'm going to have to eat some Kendrick Bourne, crow for sure. All right, let's go game balls. We've been going for 2 hours. We're going to call it quits as soon as we go game balls here. The game balls are brought to you by Habbas Law. That's right, 1-800-INJURED. Habbas Law, great sponsor of the Krug Show. I've told you guys before, my late father was an attorney. My brother is an attorney, now a judge. My sister's an attorney. My dad always used to say the key to happiness in life is having the right attorney. And so we're here today telling you about Habbas Law. Today's show sponsored by Habbas Law. For more than 40 years, Habbas Law, Omar Habbas and his son Tarek, have been standing up for people right here in Northern California. They're fierce, relentless PI attorneys. They don't back down until justice is done. They've been battling insurance companies and winning for decades. They're anchored here in the Bay Area. They're very much tied to the community. So if you need someone in your corner, call the firm that insurance companies hope you never call, and that's Habbas Law. They will fight to make it right. Visit them on the web at habbaslaw.com, HABBAS law.com. The number's on the screen as well. 1-800-INJURED. They will fight to make it right. They're great attorneys, and thanks to Habbas Law for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. Super number 150 just came in, and Mark Gravy Graves in the house. It was great to see Graves in spring training. Says, here's some love for Claw Daddy Arcades. There we go. Check them out. Claw Daddy Arcades. Great follow on Instagram at Claw_Daddy_Arcades to find a location near you. All right, guys, who gets your game ball? Who wants to go first? Why don't we start with Danny? We'll go around the horn. Danny, go ahead. Who gets your game ball in this one?
Wow, there's quite a few tonight, really, isn't there?
We had last week. We had a hard time coming up with them.
Yeah, I mean,
Mine was Devin Lloyd last week.
Yeah, I mean, I can think of 4 or 5 guys. I think we'll save Kendrick Bourne for Larry. So, you know what? Since I was a kicker, and the guy has just been money, and I'm going to go with Eddie P, man. He just
kickers always stick together.
Yeah, we stick together, man. It's a fraternity. It's a tight fraternity because we know what it's like when we miss.
By the way, it says Dan Coach Emilio, but we're actually being joined on the bottom there by Raphael Septien. So, Raphael, thanks for joining us. No, but yeah, so he's going with the kicker. Frank, who are you going with? Who gets your game ball?
Marquise Siegel. I mean, Fred won at 12 tackles. We expect him to do that. But Siegel struggled in coverage a little bit. But anytime you get 13 tackles against a really good team, you had a hell of a football game. So I'm going to give him some light because he had a hell of a game today.
No question. The rookie, 13 tackles, 7 solo. He also had a pass defense. Kev, who gets your game ball?
This one's easy for me. This is the layup. I'm going Mac Jones. Best game of Mac Jones' career. Second highest passing yards in Mac Jones' career over all the seasons he's played. He came out and balled, man. He balled out. Jersey ripped. Hobbled on one leg. Ass out. Thrown up on the sideline. Wincing in pain. And the guy delivered countless times over and over. He left his heart out on the field, man. Mac Jones, game ball. Easy one.
I heard he left his ass out there too, right? It just blew it out.
I'm gonna go Kendrick Bourne. I mean, my God. I mean, look. I mean, there was some idiot on the Krug Show saying this guy wasn't NFL last week. They threw him 11 balls this week. He caught 10 for 142 yards. I mean, let's be honest, guys. The 49ers were not going to go to Los Angeles and beat this Ram team, a really good team, one of the better teams in the conference, unless they got some performance from somebody that it didn't make sense, right? They weren't just going to go there and everybody was going to do what they normally do and everything was going to be fine. Marquise Siegel had to come away with 13 tackles. Travis Gibson in his first game as a Niner had to come away with a fumble recovery. Alfred Collins had to have the greatest play of his Niner career. And then Kendrick Bourne had to produce like a Pro Bowl receiver. And let's be honest here, guys. Kendrick Bourne was the best receiver on the field, on a field that had Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, Devontae Adams, Demarcus Robinson. I mean, he had the best day. 10 catches for 142 yards. He had a 35-yard catch. He caught 10 of 11. He was atrocious last week. They threw him 4 balls. He had 3 drops. He had guys like me saying he's not NFL. He shouldn't be on the team. They should cut him, leave him at the airport, drop him off. You know, I said it 19 different ways, and he made me eat my hat. 10 for 142. Huge game for Kendrick Bourne. Great win for the 49ers and a great one for Kendrick Bourne. So there you go. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle, the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Sleeper for being a great sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Sharp Corners, Sports Cards and Collectibles. Thanks to Claw Daddy Arcades. And thanks to Habbas Law. And thanks to all of you guys as well. Danny's got a great channel. It's NorCal Sports Network. Everybody give him a like and subscribe over there. Danny, what do you got cooking this week? Anything that you want to promote?
Yeah, we've just been covering some of the Major League Baseball playoffs, but hey, basketball's heating up. We'll start doing a little Warriors coverage soon, and we'll be talking Giants a little bit, search for their next manager.
You want to make a prediction? Who do you think it's going to be?
You know, I don't know who it's going to be. I'd like to see him go outside. I'm hearing a little bit Mark Hallberg possibility as a prepared guy, Buster's friend. If you're going to go Florida State guy, give me Eduardo Perez, a guy that nobody's really talking about. But a guy that I like the most, if you ask me who I'd like Skip Schumacher, who managed Florida to the playoffs 2 years ago with not a very talented roster, and he still made it all the way to the playoffs. So, but I think he's going to Texas. But we'll see. I like Schumacher.
Nick Carasillo says Mark DeRosa or Nick Hundley.
It could be either one of those guys. I think DeRosa's going to end up in Atlanta personally.
Frank's got a great YouTube channel as well. It's called In the Dungeon Show. This is Thursday. Normally on a Sunday, Frank would be warming up the pipes for his show tonight. But Frank, you're going Sunday night on the In the Dungeon Show. What are you guys going to be talking about Sunday night?
We're going to be talking about everything. Definitely, we'll be touching on the NFL. We'll probably hitting the 49ers a little bit. But I'm going to go out to Cal this weekend, get a chance to see the star quarterback up close and personal. They play Duke, so I'll be covering that. And certainly the NBA is starting. The Golden State Warriors play their first game on Sunday. We get a look-see to see how everything works out. I'm excited about this team. I'm excited about the season. So, we will be all over the board and also have another movie review. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Awesome. So you go Sunday night at 9?
Yes, Sunday night at 9 o'clock.
Check that out. In the Dungeon Show with Frank Red. Kev, we'll give you the final word before we bolt for the door. Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to say about the channel? I know our TikToks. Somebody came up to me at the Niner game the other day and said, man, the TikToks are fire. Anything you want to promote or anything we got cooking the rest of the weekend? I may want to go Saturday night, Kev. What do you think? You want to go see Cal and it's Duke, right? Cal and Duke Saturday night?
Yeah.
7:30 start at Memorial Stadium. Maybe we'll go out to
potentially. I potentially
wouldn't
be
mind.
down.
Yeah,
we could make a late appearance.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
We could see the lefty. I don't know how to say his last name.
Jerron.
I just go with Jake. I go with JK. Yeah. JKS.
Yeah, JKS.
I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
Let me know if you're going. I'll see if I get you a field pass from my brother.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I love college ball, man. I love college football. I love it. Absolutely love it. And I don't have enough time on Saturday nights to go, but Cal plays Saturday night. No game for the Niners on Sunday. That might not be a bad plan.
Follow the Krug Show on all the socials: Instagram, Facebook. The TikTok is popping. If you want the most comprehensive clips of the Krug Show, including the Larry Krueger raging about Kendrick Bourne clip, that's on TikTok. Those all live on TikTok. If you want to listen to the show on audio form, check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, at The Crew Show.
Hey, look at Liam is
crushing it.
Hey, look at the comment there. 10:54. Liam is getting married this Saturday.
Who is?
Guy in the chat at 10:54. Liam.
Good for him. That's awesome.
Where does it say that? 10:54.
Right on the screen now.
Oh, there's. I'm getting married Saturday. Liam Mooney. Hey, Liam. As somebody who's been married for 25 years, let me give you some advice. Practice this line. Okay, practice
All
this
off
line.
the wedding.
Practice this line.
And you'll just be fine.
Okay. Think about this. Honey, you're so right.
Yep.
I know it sounds simple, but you know what? Hey, honey, you're so right. You are so right.
I mean, use that line in about 1 minute, I think.
Here's Danny's line. Those are scrumptious lumpia. Scrumptious lumpia. I want to go out with the Mac Jones. Oh, man. What? Come on, Kev. There we go. Thanks to everybody. Have a great night. Niners win.
Yeah, never met a man I've been